one. Oh my goodness. It is two of my newly minted favorite people, the Horror Hussies, podcaster extraordinaires who are just doing amazing things in Atlanta with the horror community. And I really just wanted to have just a little sit down, little evening chit chat to find out more about you all and to share what you're doing with the folks in the Could Be Pretty Cool community who are also champions of indie creators, folks who are out here doing really cool stuff. So, Dana and Kip, if you both want to introduce yourselves and kind of tell us a little bit more about how you became the Horror Hussies, how you got started with this podcast.
Well, Dana's the one that came to me with the idea, so I guess I should let her
All right.
say it.
Kip and I know each other from high school. We go way back, and we won't tell our ages, but we probably say it in the podcast. It's fine. But we've always loved horror movies, and a couple years ago, when she moved closer to me, she's like less than 10 minutes away now. We were able to watch horror movies together at each other's houses. So um, we had a really good time, and we made each other laugh with our stupid commentary and analysis of things. And so I was like, what if we just started a podcast just for fun, just to make ourselves laugh, and also learn some background on the movies because we never really looked into the background of them before. And yeah, we did that started a couple years ago, right before Halloween, and here we are today.
And also it gives us a chance to pick things that we've never seen before. And we also like to, whenever there's theme months, not that you should always pay attention to horror any time in the month from any community, but it gives us a chance to highlight those particular things. We have Asian American Pacific Islander month coming on, so we get to watch horror movies through that lens. We recently had Black History, Latina, and
Women's History
Women
Month,
History at
Pride
Pride.
Month.
So it's just not about watching horror movies, and it's also about the more I realize we go on a lot of tangents, but the reason we do is we're watching movies through our lens as well. We're giving our take of what it's like to be a woman experiencing these things whenever you see a certain plot, and or being Latina or being Black. Our lens is different, and I think that's really interesting to talk about when you see in art and how it kind of relates to us and just the everyday decisions that we would or wouldn't make, especially with survival, what kind of person you are. And horror, I think, really touches on those themes about what are your core beliefs and how would you act in those situations. And diving into those different backgrounds has been interesting to do and very educational.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That could be pretty cool. We love how art and creativity can be used not only as a fun, entertaining tool, but as something that can provide perspectives into different life experiences, make connections between, are people thinking about intersectionality as it relates to horror genres? The fact that you all are doing that with your podcast is yes, we love all of that, and we champion creators, indie creators who are not only trying to make something that's enjoyable and entertaining, but y'all are actually saying something. And so yes, we're all about that.
Yeah, if I may interject, when I was like, oh my gosh, we're just gonna be another person out there that podcasts. How many do we need out there in the world? All that kind of thing. But I was like, it's wait a minute, we have a very unique perspective. And coming from the type of households that we come from, having Latina background, Black backgrounds, where you may not get the most encouragement to pursue things that that are artistic,
Creative.
Creative. So when we hear other people yeah, you're great, your point is actually interesting, and we like what you do, we just huh? And so it's nice to get pats on the back from each other, as a community when we do this, because then I learned it was hey, we're pretty good at this actually. And I like what we got to say. And like I said, we think differently, but we both have very thick skins, coming from where we come
A
from.
lot of banter.
A lot of
pick on each
banter.
other a
We do
lot.
pick on each other, but we're learning to love ourselves too on this journey.
Mm.
journey. I like Kate. She went like, yeah, but
Snaps.
yeah,
I
it's
do like how
critical.
some people say, like, we did get a couple some people were saying, like, it feels like we're just hanging out with friends, just like, which I was like, good, because that's what I love in a podcast too, is, I feel like I'm just hanging out with friends, sitting amongst my peers,
Mhm.
shooting the shit, and we shoot the shit a lot. Maybe too
Yeah.
much, but whatever.
Yeah. It gets out there.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's I remember some of our first sort of meetings together as like client meetings, and I was just sort of sitting back and just watching the two of you interact with one another. And it was like, yes, clearly they host a podcast together, and if you didn't, like, you would have had to start one immediately. And so speaking of that, speaking of you two just deciding to start something. Like you decided, we're going to do this, we're going to pursue it. Can you talk to us, since you host a horror podcast, about how you overcame any fears or insecurities about jumping into this project, perhaps without any knowledge about editing or recording, or how did you just sort of overcome any of that adversity, anxiety when it came to starting this podcast?
You could go first if
Okay.
you want.
Well, like I think that we have different strengths that help each other
Mhm.
and to encourage each other to like overcome the things. Like with Dana, it was social speaking for her, and I think you can attest to how big that fear,
Especially
into.
now coming up with the live things we have coming up. But yeah, I have a bad fear of public speaking ever since I was always. When I was in college, when I saw the syllabus, if there was a presentation at the end, I would just drop the class and find something else. It was that bad. But this is fun. I'm still gonna be nervous about the live events and stuff, but I'll get over it because we can drink. That's important. And
Yeah, that
don't
was
tell the program. I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
he'll be fine. But she's an extrovert. She's been public speaking her
Yes,
whole
a little
life.
too much. From my religious upbringing, I've been doing presentations, being in front of large audiences, and so I'm used to it. And I'm a little bit too extroverted sometimes, which can come with the territory when you have a podcast. But I'm learning a lot, and it kind of forces me to speak in a way like where I still share my point of view, but be respectful in a way that will draw audiences of all ages and not kind of alienate their listeners. And we, like, when we're not on air, like we have differences of opinions about lots of things, how we want to present things, how things should be done, but we're so honest with each other that we can work through that and like come to a good thing and kind of like, hey,
Hug it out.
hug it out. And they're like, yeah,
Literally.
I'm just
like, I'm sorry, did I hurt your feelings
did I
when I
hurt your
said
feelings?
that? Are you okay? Give me
Yeah.
your hand. Are you okay?
Because sometimes after recording, it's like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I went in hard. Like, I feel so bad. She's like, no, it was fine.
I'm like, you didn't
I'm
hurt my
fine.
feelings this time.
This
Wait.
time. Yeah. And thank God for the internet. I've learned and researched on my own how to edit and find things, a lot of tools that are free, and not to be stingy, even if things that are affordable, if there is no free way to like still kind of make it accessible for us two who are right now are just doing it, on our own. And so, yeah, like the internet has been a great tool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the podcasts on how to make podcasts were actually very helpful, on not being afraid to make mistakes and realize that not every episode's going to be a banger. Not every episode's going to be perfect. And that's what we're experiencing with all the new things we're doing. It's like, it's okay if it's not good the first time.
Yeah.
It's
okay if it sucks.
There's fear. There's fear.
Try again.
Yeah, there's fear in trying new things, but like, once you overcome it, yeah. It's like that Miley Cyrus song. What is it? Never mind. It's the climb. It ain't the journey, it's the climb.
Yeah,
Sure,
the
the journey.
You know what song? You know what song I'm talking about,
Oh
right?
no, yeah, we're team Miley over here,
Yeah,
and I love how like meta this is getting about overcoming the fears to produce the horror
Her
podcast.
being on social media, she had no social media presence, like
no.
bare minimum, and I had to kind of push her to
I
do
just
that.
wanted to live in the woods and be in the trees. Like I don't want to be on this social media things, but there has been positive things to it.
Mhm.
A lot of people that from my past see what I do, and I kind of get a kick that it kind of rubs them the wrong way, especially coming from a very religious background. Oh, excuse me. And a lot of my family sees what I do, and I'm more in touch with them because they understand my perspective and point of view because I'm putting myself out there. So it has its benefits being open with who you are for everyone to see. Yeah.
Yes, like I love these just very nuanced connections between horror genres and introspection and the past and perspective. Like it's such a great project for you all. And as you mentioned, Dana, you're not just focusing on your digital work. You're taking this show into the community for live
Yes.
events. Can you talk to us a little bit about what folks can be looking forward to with some of your live work?
Yeah, it's something that was unexpected that just we got these really cool opportunities after doing this for a little over 2 years. We did have we're at the Anthology Film Festival, which is like a horror short film festival earlier this year in January. That was our first live experience, which was very fun. And next month in May 31st, we are hosting our first horror movie night at the Terra Theater. Very excited, nervous, excited. So we'll be doing we'll be doing some trivia, some background information, and maybe hosting or doing like a post film discussion. We'll have some merch for some prizes, stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and we did from the people we've met in the community too. Some really cool other film festival directors and like movie directors that we've really been fortunate to get to know. They had asked us to interview an actress from a pretty big movie from back in the day for a anniversary showing at the Plaza coming also next month. Once that's all solidified and squared away, we'll make a episode out of that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're excited.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
exciting. Yeah. I'm so happy to be from here. I mean, I used to complain about when I was younger. I was like, I can't wait I'm gonna go back to New York where my family's from. Forget Georgia. It's like, no, but I've really grown to love Atlanta, even though it's changing in ways. Atlanta's still very cool. It's like the second Hollywood, and like the horror community here is awesome, and it's just so cool to be from here.
Yeah.
Cool vibes.
Yes. And then we
Well,
met you too. Also,
Yes.
very thankful to meet you as well.
well, I appreciate that, but I'm not cool. I
No,
love
you're
that
doing
you
things too.
all.
No, yeah, you have no idea. Like, I need the boost. Like, I'm like, I mean, I know we're all supposed to believe in ourselves and like, I got this, but like to get the encouragement is actually great because
The validation is nice.
yeah, she tells me I need to pat myself more and like I'm like, it's okay, but I realize, yeah, I'm stuttering now. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. And I've learned a lot doing this podcast. Like, it's just not about horror movies. It's become more than that,
And our friendship is closer
yeah.
now too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We know
this
too much
is
about each other. Too much.
It is. I know too much. Too much.
We already know if one of us dies we're gonna know the passwords, like delete
we're gonna delete everything,
wipe my computer,
journals,
burn my journals.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a plan.
We know too much.
I feel like if this was anyone but you two, like that would be like, oh my God, that's weird.
Like
but
weird.
Literally, it's like
Who knows where I buried the bodies?
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
so yeah, you two know all about each other. How can the folks who are watching this make sure they're keeping in touch with Horror Hussies, the podcast, the things that y'all are doing out in the community? How can they make sure that they are following you and they know what's going on?
Go to just type in Horror Hussies or the only ones right now. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly, if you go to Instagram, you can click on our podcaster app to see all of our episodes. But we usually are very good about posting on all those platforms what's coming up. And you found the right one when you see this. If you see this right here in the icon for when you click on your profiles, you found the right Horror Hussies. So follow us online anywhere.
That's looking weird.
Yeah.
Whatever that picture is.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, it's great. It took me until I met you in person. I was like, oh my God, it's them. So yes, folks watching this.
Yeah. Our hair and braids for the first for the movie night.
I know. Should we go all in?
I don't know. I was gonna say, like, the people now are gonna have to go listen to the podcast and then see it. And then when they come to see you hosting your live events, they're like it makes you
Really?
you get it. Yes.
I'll bring my bloody pitchfork from my tool shed in the backyard.
I think people would want to take pictures with you doing that. I'm just
maybe we could go all in one day and like totally do like a real photo shoot with makeup and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think we can do it.
Brainstorming. It's happening. Real time, folks. You're seeing it happen here.
I mean, you know how many times I was Pocahontas for Halloween because it was so easy? I just literally braided. I can do this. Yeah. Do that.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. And I guess y'all are going to have to wait and see. Yeah.
I like doing special effects makeup for fun. I have the blood.
Mm-hmm.
You got the braid skills. You'll have to braid my hair. I'm not good at it,
I can. Yeah.
I've got the blood. You've got the braids. Let's go promote these.
Sounds like a rap song.
I know.
Like yeah.
That'll be our new
I'm
opening
liking
song.
We're
just gonna wrap our own.
I like this. I like this. I got the blood and you got the okay.
Do y'all see this? This is just like regular like this is just like a regular conversation that's happening.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to go check out the podcast to
get
the full shimmer effects of the Horror Hussies. But yeah, thank y'all so much for I love being able to just interact with clients without any real purpose. I've learned so much. So yes, all of y'all go follow them, listen to the podcast, look out for them out in the Atlanta horror community, invite them on your podcasts and to come do all your things because they're cray and amazing. So yeah, we're gonna go now.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.